So a IAR is a independent accounting report. It's something which you get when you're getting a form of grant funding. What an IAR does is it provides assurance over your figures. It makes sure they're accurate and reliable. The other part of that is really trying to hone into the terms and conditions of the grant to make sure you're complying with those. So grant funders want this report because it usually involves a significant amount of money. It could be upwards of 50 grand, for example. And the grant funder is usually covering your costs upwards of 40% all the way up to 100%. The IR really reduces the risk around those costs and makes sure that the costs that you're presenting are accurate and reliable. The IR also gives a level of credibility over the application that you're making back to the grant provider to make sure they're happy with those costs. Not necessarily. Again, going back to significant amounts of money involved, if it's a lower grant, then you're probably not going to need an IR. But if you're applying for larger grants, for example, through Innovate UK or Horizon 2020, it's more than likely that you're going to need some form of an IR to support that grant application. You'll also find that some of the grants need a IR very early on. For example, after you've incurred the first quarter's worth of costs, then you're going to need an IR. Other times you may not need an IR until you've actually finished the project. That's a great question. So I think Wellers can be a proactive advisor to you and your business. We can really hold your hand from the initial application process and kind of guide you through that to understand what the grant awarder is asking for. From there, we can advise what kind of costs go into that, help you out with, for example, your labour calculations, and really understanding what costs go into that. On top of that, understanding what your subcontractors involve, your CapEx expenditure, and what really meets the definition of the terms and conditions of that grant.